use 3 tools, tips, and tricks that you can leverage for your salon or spa right now to have a killer referral program. Referrals, you guys, are the easiest way to grow and scale your business. It is so simple, it is so easy, and it is the highest effective way to do it, right? Getting your existing clients, people who already know you, like you, and trust you, advocating for you in the marketplace, advocating for you with other people just like them, is the best way, hands down, to get new ideal clients through the door for your business. So the real question is, how do we leverage a referral program the right way to get this almost coming like a system, right? To get people coming in regularly on autopilot who are referrals. How do I get this working consistently in my business, right? Because I think we've all realized, especially over the last few years, that sometimes it's a little hard to force that word of mouth and to get our current clients actually talking about us, right? Sometimes it feels like we're their best kept secret, and they don't want to refer people to us because, they don't want us being too busy or where they can't get in, right? Or they don't want anyone knowing that they got work done on their face or on their hair or whatever, right? They don't want Susie going to their same hairstylist or whatever it may be. When in reality, a lot of times these are just kind of like falsities that we put in our own head, because at the end of the day, some clients, some people are just busy. They're just busy, okay? That's just like the fact of the matter. And they don't have time, we don't take up enough space in their brain for them to prioritize pushing us above all of the other responsibilities that they have in a day, right? So we have to almost force that. We have to keep ourselves and keep referring us a top of mind activity for our current clients so that they do it quite regularly. There are 3 tools, 3 tips, 3 trends that we use to do this, okay? Now, the first one that we use is the one that you've probably all heard of before, and it's definitely the least impactful. It's worth having, but it's something that a lot of people let this one thing carry the weight when it should not. The first thing that you should have in place are referral cards, okay? So referral cards are little like business card style cards that allow the potential new client coming in and your existing client to write their names on it. So when the new client comes in and hands it to you, you can record who came in for that service, right? Who is the new client and who referred them, so you can, at the end of the day, allot whatever incentive for existing client and new client for that referral coming in, okay? So referral card. The thing that I love about referral cards is it does give that existing client something outside of your business to be able to hand out, give to people, etc. It allows them to have something a little bit tangible with your in-the-door offer or your referral offer on it to hand out to people, so that can almost be communicated without you there. I think referral cards are great. I think they are necessary. But where people go wrong is relying on referral cards, right? It's like leaning fully on referral cards to carry their referral program all the way through to the end. Referral cards, they're a support, but they're not the star of the show, okay? Referral cards are not what makes a good referral program. It's just like a little bit of supporting material for it. So we can't lean on this, because at the end of the day, the harsh truth is 90% of the time, those referral cards that you're giving your clients are turning into gum wrappers in the bottom of their purse, okay? Whenever they have some gum in their mouth, that is the first thing to go. That is the first thing that they're throwing it into, is those referral cards, okay? So they're not what we should hang the hat of our entire referral program on. A great asset, you should have them, okay? But we should not rely on them. One little kind of trick of the trade I would tell you guys is figure out how to make your referral cards a little different. Maybe try for a different size. Maybe try for a different texture or consistency. I think back to, I was talking about this yesterday, the movie American Psycho, where they're talking about, oh my God, he had this finish or this watermark or this consistency or this thickness, right? Because it makes their business card different or whatever. Hilarious, but think of it almost like that, right? What if I went with like a matte or a gloss or like a high gloss or like whatever, a different thickness, a different size. I've seen like a square size work really, really well because it takes up enough space so it's not forgettable. And they think of giving that thing to their friend the moment they see them next, right? You can also, on referral cards, I think it's great if in Salon, before you hand it to them, write the name of the person they are planning to give it to on the card. That way it's a card with a purpose, And they can furthermore go ahead and pass that on to their friend or family member with intention, right? I'm planning on giving this to my cousin. I'm planning on giving this to my sister. And then they have intention behind why you're giving them that card, and they have like a task that they need to complete, right? It's like an open loop in their bag so that when they see their cousin or their sister or their mom or their boyfriend or whoever next, they now can go and hand this to them, okay? So that's the first thing that you need to have in place is referral card. Everybody type referral card in the comments down below, just to really kind of anchor that one in. That is the first thing that you should have for your referral program is a referral card. The second thing that you should have for your referral program is something that we call a refer a friend sheet. This is something that we did at a local gym that I used to work at that everybody loved. We offered a small incentive on the spot. At the gym, it was a t-shirt. For you guys, it could be something like 10% off retail. But if they gave us 5 or more names of referrals that we could then follow up with, ideally to book on a gym membership, they just wrote it down on a refer a friend sheet. So it was a sheet, it had like 10 lines on it for name, email, phone number, and that was it. So we had them do that, and we just gave them a little freebie in exchange for them giving us those names. It worked like magic. It gave us great qualified leads to follow up with for referrals. And again, if one of those people came in and booked, the referral program rules, which we'll kind of get into here in just a second, still applied. So if that person actually wound up coming in, the person who referred would get incentive, and the person who is coming in would get an incentive as well. But a refer a friend sheet is a great way to record the contact information, so that we can follow up with all of these referrals to get them to come in. It's all about, honestly, like power and control. You want the power and the control over that conversation with that potential referral to get them through the door, because your sales process should be a 10 out of 10. It should be where it needs to be. And if it's not, well, I would recommend going back and watching some of my older weekly live trainings, because we talk all about how to talk to these referrals, etc. We're just talking about the program today, but we should be able to strategically follow up with these people and have the highest probable chance of them coming in. And that happens when we take control over the conversation, when we have the contact details, we have the power of follow-up. That's one of the most important things. I talk about it all the time, you guys. The fortune is in the follow-up. That's a writer downer. I would type that one in the comments. I would get it tattooed on your forehead. The fortune is in the follow-up. And when you have that contact information, when you have that power to follow up with those potential new clients, you hold all the cards. You truly have control over your business when you have that information. That information is an asset, so the more we can collect it, the better. That is absolutely crucial for any salon and any spa, okay? So number 1, you guys, was referral cards. We definitely need them. Number 2 was a refer a friend sheet. Again, it's just a basic sheet of paper with 10 lines, space for email, or space for name, and phone number. Sometimes email, but a lot of people don't know other people's emails these days, so really just name and phone number suffices. But referral cards and refer a friend sheet are the first 2 kind of pillars of a killer referral program that give you these assets. Okay, so those are really the 2 tools that we need. The third thing, and this is the most important, this is the one, like the little linchpin, this is the kicker that truly sets a referral program over the edge and truly allows you to capitalize on this information and get these referrals ASAP. And it is our referral script, which I'm about to give you right now. Now, this script, we need to say, we have to be talking about at every single client checkout. So when a client has done business with you, they've gotten the appointment, they've gotten the service, they should be absolutely thrilled because you're amazing at what you do, right? At this point, we want to ask them 2 very simple questions, okay? 2. Everybody write down 2 questions, have it in your notes. The first question is asking them to rate their service with you on a scale of 1 to 10, okay? So on a scale of 1 to 10, how was your service today? If it's anything less than a 10, you want to follow that up with what would have made it a 10, right? We want to get that honest feedback. Honestly, this is great business practice in the first place because we're getting that immediate feedback loop with that client and we're able to rectify any issues right then and there on the spot if it's any less than a 10. If it is a 10, that is a perfect segue into this next question, which is great. Who else do you know who could also benefit from this service? I want you to write down that phrase exactly how I said it. Who else do you know who could also benefit from this service? That question needs to be asked every single appointment, every single time. I don't care if they're a new client. I don't care if they've been coming to you for 10 years. We want to ask this question because here's the thing. Again, people get busy. Sure, we can ask them to write down a bunch of things in numbers. They may do it, they may not. Sure, we can give them referral cards. They may pass them out, they may not. But what they can very easily do is answer a question right there on the spot and say, oh yeah, my sister, my cousin, right? And we just want to get their top 1 to 3 names of people who they feel would be a great fit for our services. And guess what? Exactly what I just talked about. We're going to capture that contact information and we're going to follow up. Bonus points if you can actually get that client to start a group chat between them, you, and their referral. That is absolutely huge. But regardless, we want to get in contact with that referral and with that name that they're giving us, and then continue along the kind of selling conversation from there and get them in for that next service, okay? But those are the 3 pillars. So we have referral cards, but we're not going to rely on them, right? We're going to have them. They're a great asset. We're going to give them to each of our clients to refer people out to us, but they're not the main star of the show, okay? We're going to have a refer a friend sheet with an incentive for them to fill it out. That is huge. That's massive. That gives you so many free leads and contact information that you can follow up with. That is huge, 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 huge. And then the third pillar is we're going to implement the checkout script, okay? So it's a 2-part script. We have the first question, which is on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your service today? Ideally, most people give you a 10 because you're amazing at what you do. And then if it is a 10, then we ask the secondary question, which is who else do you know who could also benefit from this service? Who else do you know who could also benefit from this service? Now, some people are going to give you names right off the bat and go, oh, my sister, my cousin, my mom, my niece, whatever. And others are going to be like, oh, I just don't know anyone off the top of my head, which is where we're going to push the envelope just a hair, just a little bit, okay? And say, well, if you did know, who would it be? Right? In a very upbeat and confident tone, if you did know, who would it be? Right? That little extra nudge, that little extra question actually gets them thinking, gets their mind working, and then about 50% of the time, they'll actually go ahead and follow up and give you a few names, okay? But that one question in particular, this referral program structure in particular, is the exact referral program structure that one of our amazing beauty bosses, Joanna, actually implemented in her business. And she tripled her business within 90 days off of this alone. She actually got so much new business from this structure of a referral program that she never even made it to like the ads, the posts, like none of the other stuff that we teach, because she was so drowned under with new business just from implementing this alone. She was getting 3 to 5 names every single day of ideal new clients that she could then follow up with and book the appointment for that initial service. Now here is the kicker, okay? So we have kind of our 3 tools and our 3 assets that we can lean into. But what truly makes a good referral program is what we call a win-win, okay? The person referring has to be able to win, and the person being referred needs to be able to win. One of my favorite referral programs that I used and abused, especially when I was in college, my hairstylist had a referral program where it was for every person I referred, I got $20 off my next service, and they got $20 off their first service, okay? And here's the funnier part, I was referred in from a friend of mine with the same program. So I know just off the top of my head from the people that, again, were in my circle, at least 12 to 15 people, new clients that she got within just a 3-month window, just from having a win-win service, a win-win referral program like that. I was referring everyone I could think of, because not only did she do good work, but I was going to get just a small discount off the top of my service almost every time I went, because I was like banking these referrals. The cooler part is she really didn't miss out on much money-wise, because she didn't allow you to like stack it all on one service. It had to be spread out. So then I was banking out future discounts for myself, also turning myself into a lifetime client of hers, because I was like, great, my next like 4 appointments, I get $20 off. I'm never going anywhere else. I am only continuing to go to her because I now have this long-term right, almost discount program with her. Now, in the grand scheme of things, when I'm paying $150 to $200 to get my hair done, $20 off isn't a whole lot on her end as the stylist, but for me, right, every little bit helps as the consumer, as the client. So that $20 off was amazing, and I loved it. And it had me referring my friends in like hotcakes, and then they were turning into lifetime clients. They got my boyfriend, she got my best friend, she got my sorority sisters, like everyone in Facebook groups. I would never cease. I'm like, go to so-and-so, tell her Katie sent you, right? Every single day, because I won. As the person referring, I was able to win. And then it was a no-brainer for the person I was referring to her to go because they won too. They got $20 off their first service. So it was like, well, duh, like I'm totally gonna take advantage of this because I get a discount, right? I get an incentive. I get to go and I get to try it out and I get a small percentage off. And that's not expected in the long run. I knew that if I wanted to continue getting that particular discount, that I would just need to simply continue referring people out to her. Wouldn't you give $20, a simple $20 or 20%, right, or a 10% off of one of your service if it meant all these lifetime clients now coming to you for the long run, right? And eventually we got to a point where I ran out of people to refer and then I was paying full price services, which I had no problem doing because by that point I had already established a concrete relationship with this stylist. I loved her. We talked boy drama together. We did all the things, which was hilarious talking boy drama together because my boyfriend also went to her for his hair. But it was a win-win all the way around. So figure out how everyone can win in the situation. You can win because you get lifetime clients out of the deal. The person referring can win, and the person being referred, can win, right? Win, win, win. How everyone can win. Those are the best referral programs. All too often I see people almost trying to be stingy with referral programs and be like, well, I'll give a percentage off for like the person who's like referring, but not to the person coming in because I don't want to attract cheap discount clients. Guys, a small incentive is not going to attract a cheap discount client when it is a referral. The only way that's going to be a cheap discount client is if we're leading with the discount versus leading with the referral, but we're not. We're leading with the referral. We're leading with you got to go to Katie. She is amazing at what she does, right? You've got to go see her. She is hands down the best. And that is always the tonality of a referral. That is always the aura around a referral, okay? So just to review, because oh my God, we just covered a lot, okay? 3 tools of a killer referral program is first, we want referral cards, but we are not going to rely on them. They are not the star of the show. They are support for our referral program, but we do want referral cards, okay? The second thing is a referral friend sheet at our front desk where they can write down names, emails, phone numbers, etc. of the people that they are referring in. The third thing was a checkout script, okay? So the checkout script was in a 2-part question. The first question is, rate your service on a scale of 1 to 10, or how was your service on a scale of 1 to 10? Anything less than a 10, we're asking what would have made it a 10. Not how could we improve, not how could we have made it better, but what would have made it a 10. We're looking for like that positive angle of that question. And then the secondary follow-up question to that is, who else do you know who could also benefit from this service? Ideally, they're going to give us a name and a phone number that we can follow up with, okay? Again, the fortune is in the follow-up. It is the most important piece of that puzzle. As is with any referral program, you want the power to be able to follow up with those people, okay? And then the pro tip of any and all referral programs is making it a win-win-win for everybody. You should win by getting that influx of new clients. Your existing client who is referring people to you should win in the long run. And then the client coming to you for the very first time should win. They should have a small incentive getting them through the door, getting them off the fence, and having them make that decision. Especially because, you guys, here's honestly what happens when people refer and there's not an incentive. The person being referred in, right, that potential new client is sitting there like, yeah, I mean, that sounds good. It sounds like she's amazing, right? Maybe one day, maybe when I get around to it, or I'm gonna keep going to my current girl like a little bit longer. I'm gonna see if she improves, right? They don't have a reason to get off the fence and say yes, like right now. Giving them that small incentive, 10% off, $20 off, whatever it may be, gives them a reason to say yes now. ASAP right now, today, in the next 5 minutes, like book your appointment. That's what got me off the fence. That's what got my boyfriend off the fence. That's what got my best friend off the fence. That's what got my sorority sisters off the fence. That's what got everybody off the fence, was that say yes now reason to move forward with this appointment and not even entertain any of the other referrals that we were getting, right? Because honestly, when we were posting in a Facebook group or asking our friends at dinner or whatever, everyone and their mother would say like, oh yeah, my stylist, my stylist, my stylist, my stylist. But what made, the stylist name was Taylor, what made Taylor different was her ability to capitalize on all of that traffic, on all of that word of mouth with that small incentive. That's what made it a no-brainer to be like, oh, well, Taylor's giving like 20 bucks off, so I might as well go try her, right? That's what made it just this like, aha, like, of course, I absolutely have to say yes to this one, right? Because in a world where like, on a Facebook post of someone asking like, hey, anybody have any stylist recommendations? And there's 86 comments within the first 20 minutes of people saying, my stylist, this person, yeah, go here, go to them. Or, hey, I'm a salon, here's what I can do. We offer cuts and colors and blowouts and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. There's so much noise that you have to find a way to make yourself different. You have to find a way to make yourself different. And that is what a win-win referral program does. That is what these checkout scripts do. That is what making your referral cards different do. Find ways to separate yourself from the noise. How do I make myself different from the others in the area who are possibly doing very similar services to me, who might have very similar prices to me, who might have a very similar like feel for their brand as me, right? How do I stand out? How do I make myself different? Because that is the person that is going to win every single day. One of the biggest things that I learned from Russell Brunson, right? When he came on the scene with like his ClickFunnels business, right? Which was kind of a funnel building platform. There were 1,000,001 like website builders and all those types of things, and even funnel builders on the market. And he said you could like dive in and like compete with that person, or you can jump into what he refers to as like a blue ocean, right? Which is basically like sharks in the ocean. Once like, it's like shark infested waters, it turns into a red ocean because there's so many fish there and whatnot. A blue ocean is like calm. They haven't really like migrated over there yet. Same kind of thing, right? It's different, it's new, the sharks haven't bloodied the water yet, there's not 1,000,001 people doing it, etc. Now that doesn't have to be about your services, it can just be for the way that you position what you do. Especially in, again, an era where all of our services are really, really commoditized right now, right? How many of you guys have people just hitting you up 24/7, going like, what's the price, what's the price, what's price, what's price, and you give it to them, and what's happening is they're assuming that you and everyone else do everything the exact same way, so they truly are shopping around on price alone, which people are going to naturally do when they think two things are the exact same. That's why positioning yourself as different in every way, shape, and form with the manner in which you do things, change the status quo, go about it a different way, sets you on a different playing field. You put yourself in a different market. You put yourself in a blue ocean where you're not even in competition with the salon down the street because you're different. You do things differently. Those are the things that make a great referral program work. Those are things that give you longevity in your business when you can figure out even small ways to make yourself different. And guys, again, that comes down to like the size of your referral cards, to the manner in which you do your referral program, to the questions that you ask at checkout. There's so many little things that you can do that's like, they're doing it this way, I'm gonna do it another way. I actually mentioned this in like a video that we recently filmed, but the average income, like the average earnings for the salon and spa industry across the board is about $30,000 a year, which in most states is below the poverty line. And guys, that is solos and owners alike. The average earnings, the average income for a salon, for a spa, $30,000 a year, okay? Like that is industry standard. And if we want to continue getting the industry standard, then sure, we can look around at what everybody else is doing and just be a copycat clone and say, okay, well, like other people in the industry do it this way, so I must, right? Need to copy them, need to do what they're doing. But the thing is, if we keep copying other people, we're gonna keep getting the result that they're getting, which a lot of times is not what you think. Okay, I have talked and held interviews with influencers in this industry, people with tens of thousands of followers, hundreds of thousands of followers, who are dead broke and have failing businesses. They would have you believe otherwise because they want to position themselves as a guru in this industry, but they are dead broke and have failing businesses. They are making probably less than you. And yet, some of these people, just because they have a social media following or just because they're the loudest person in the room, we worship them, follow them, try to emulate what they do, try to do what they do, right? We see a salon with some good branding. We assume they must be successful. We start trying to copy and doing what they do, when in reality, a lot of them are getting the same crappy industry standard result. And I feel like it's time to break the status quo. We need to break the industry standard. We need to break what's acceptable or normal. And we need to put ourselves in a different playing field so that we can start getting a different freaking result. So that we can start getting a better freaking result. So that comes with changing up the referral program, okay? Question everything. Question the status quo of everything. Everyone's giving out business card size referral cards. How can I be different? Everyone else is doing this kind of referral program. How can I be different? How can I offer more? How can I offer better? How can I elevate the experience? How can I elevate my customer service? How can I truly just take what I've got going on and like 10x it for my clients? How can I put myself on a totally different playing field? When you can answer that question for yourself, there are zero limits that can hold you back. That's what Russell did with ClickFunnels, and that's why they almost had a $1 billion exit last year. Billion with a B, because they were put in a different playing field. And there is not one other business in his marketplace that could achieve that level of success. None. Because he made himself different. Now they chose not to sell and they chose to go in a different direction with like releasing this totally new platform, but like that's like level of what's achievable, like this stark difference between him and everyone else who had like far smaller exits, because he made himself different. So figure out ways to make yourself different, from your referral program, from just the manner in which you do business, to your customer service. Question everything. When someone says, oh, well, that's just the way the industry does it, question it. When people say, oh, that's the way we've always done it, question it. When people say, oh, referral cards have to be this size, question it. When people say, oh, like the right way to do a referral program for this industry is this though, question it. When people say, oh, but if you give a discount, you're only going to get cheap discount clients, question it. Question everything. Figure out what works for you. Put yourself in a blue ocean. Put yourself in an untapped market just through the way you position yourself, just through the small things.